What I want to talk a little bit about now is situations where you may need to talk to a lawyer. And let me talk to you a little bit about some of the cases we've handled in the past. There's been cases where someone has had bleeding over a period of months and even years, and the physician has never gone further with any type of testing to see where that bleeding's come from. There's been cases we've looked at over the years where they've had a 1 or 2 or 3 year history of hemorrhoids, and there's been no follow-up to see if this bleeding was something other than hemorrhoids. And what happens is 2, 3, 4 years down the road, they get a colon or rectal cancer diagnosis. And certainly had that bleeding been followed up on earlier and not just been diagnosed as hemorrhoids, that cancer could have been caught at an earlier stage. There would have been a better chance of a cure in those kind of cases. Other cases we've seen is when a barium enema has been misread. And what actually happens is these barium enemas, there may be 40, 50, 60 x-rays that you have to review. And I can remember a case probably 9 or 10 years ago where a mid-50-year-old female had had some bleeding for 6, 8, 10 months, was sent for a barium enema. The barium enema was performed and it was basically read as normal, no problems. Another year later, she continues to have bleeding and she's given the diagnosis of rectal cancer, stage 4. It had spread to her liver, and that woman probably died within 3 or 4 months of calling us. It was a sad situation. What we started doing is looking at the medical care going backward. We actually got the x-rays of the barium enema, and in 2 projections. Now keep in mind, there were 40 or 50 x-rays that needed to be reviewed, but in 2 of them, it was clear that there was a tumor present. So what happened there is the radiologist misread that barium enema. In the report said it was a normal barium enema, no evidence of cancer. Gave that report to her primary care doctor, and that primary care doctor unfortunately told the client, told his patient, that there was no evidence of cancer. So in that scenario, the bleeding that she continued to have, she unfortunately just thought that it was continued to be a problem with hemorrhoids. But we took that case and we brought suit against those providers who gave her bad medical care, and eventually were able to collect some monies for that family. But that's a scenario that once you've got that diagnosis, you may want to call and talk to a lawyer. If you've seen that there's been medical care in the past that didn't bring out the fact that there was a cancer that was there at the time. Another instance that we have seen cases is when there's been a diagnosis of colon or rectal cancer and they know they have gotten a procedure such as a flexible sigmoidoscopy or a colonoscopy within a year or 2 time.